Did you know that Redwire could become the company that's building trillion-dollar factories in the sky? I mean, we've spent decades trying to reach space, but the next major opportunity may not be about getting there, may actually be what we build once we arrive. Because in zero gravity, there's materials, technologies, biological products, all that can be potentially created in ways that are just impossible to do right here on Earth. And Redwire is positioning itself around that future by developing the infrastructure that could support a permanent industrial economy beyond our planet. That's why in this video, you're going to learn how Redwire is turning space into a potential manufacturing platform, why falling launch costs could create an entirely new orbital economy, and how this opportunity could affect Redwire's long-term stock potential. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Rick Orford. I'm a Wall Street Journal bestselling author, been trading since 1999, and no, I'm not a financial advisor. And that's a good thing, because I'm right here with you, breaking down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/Ricko to get your 10 stock picks right now. Okay, so when most of us think about investing in space, we're usually thinking about rockets. We think about companies trying to launch faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. And that makes sense because access to orbit has always been the biggest challenge. But what happens after the rocket gets there? Well, that's the question behind Redwire. Artificial intelligence, national security, and commercial investment are transforming the space industry. Reusable launch systems and growing competition are steadily reducing the cost of reaching orbit, shifting the discussion away from simply transportation and towards what can actually be built, manufactured, and operated once spacecraft arrive. And that creates a completely different investing debate. If getting to space becomes cheaper and more routine, the biggest winners may not be the companies launching the rockets. They could also be the companies that are providing the infrastructure that makes long-term activity in orbit possible. And that's the opportunity that Redwire is chasing. So instead of competing as a launch provider, Redwire is developing technologies across space manufacturing, spacecraft structures, power systems, microgravity research, satellite servicing, and commercial space infrastructure. And the company's vision is built around a single, simple idea. Space isn't just a destination. It could eventually become an industrial environment. And if that happens, the companies building the tools and the systems that support that environment could become increasingly important. Now, the first part of the opportunity comes down to one advantage that just simply doesn't exist on Earth. That's called microgravity. Lower launch costs only matter if they create new economic activity once the spacecraft reaches orbit. And that's where Redwire begins to separate itself from many other space companies. The company is developing platforms designed to take advantage of microgravity, where certain materials and biological structures behave completely differently than they do here under Earth's gravity. So instead of looking at space as only a place for exploring, Redwire is treating it as a potential manufacturing environment. Now, that doesn't mean every single product will suddenly become cheaper or better in orbit. The opportunity is much more specific. If certain high-value products can be manufactured with better performance in space, companies may be willing to pay the additional cost. One example, right, is ZB-LAN. It's an optical fiber. When optical fiber is manufactured on Earth, gravity can create imperfections that reduce performance. But microgravity may actually help reduce those defects, creating higher quality fiber for specialized applications where even small improvements could justify a much higher price. And Redwire has already conducted ZB-LAN manufacturing experiments above the International Space Station in 2020. Now, all of this is still early stages, right? And that distinction matters. The technology is very promising, but investors need to separate future possibilities from current business results. And the same idea applies to biotech. Redwire's biofabrication facility was created to study whether complex biological tissues can be manufactured more effectively in microgravity. Without the effects of gravity, researchers can explore new approaches to creating biological structures that are difficult to produce here on Earth. Like commercial organ manufacturing, this is still a long-term goal, not just a current revenue driver, but the platform just goes to prove the type of future applications that could eventually expand beyond traditional labs if the demand develops. And that leads me to one of the most important parts of Redwire's story. The company doesn't need every single futuristic application to succeed. It just needs the broader space economy to continue developing because its technology portfolio gives it exposure to multiple areas of growth. Now, before we talk about the bigger commercial space opportunity, I do want to give a shout out to my community. I've created a free investing community where members discuss specific companies, share ideas, and even talk about options trading strategies. And it's one of the fastest growing investing communities here on YouTube. If you want to join, it's completely free of charge. Just scan the QR code on the screen or check for the link in the description. Now, while orbital manufacturing is the exciting long-term vision, Redwire's more established business, at least today, is space infrastructure. In fiscal 2025, Redwire's space segment generated about $210 million in revenue out of total $335 million in revenue that it reported. And that business includes spacecraft systems, large space infrastructure, critical avionics, and technologies that support civil, commercial, and national security customers. Because before factories, labs, or commercial space stations can operate in orbit, they do need the basic infrastructure that keeps them alive. They need power, they need spacecraft systems, they need technology that allows missions to operate reliably. And Redwire has built its business around supplying many of those foundational capabilities. And that gives the company exposure to today's space economy while also creating potential upside if commercial activity in orbit expands over the next decade. And one of Redwire's most recognizable technologies is the Rollout Solar Array, or ROSA. This technology was later adapted into the International Space Station's iROSA upgrade program. Unlike traditional rigid solar panels, these arrays can roll into a compact configuration during launch and then deploy once in orbit. And that allows spacecraft to increase electrical power while reducing launch volume and mass. And as more spacecraft, research platforms, and commercial stations enter orbit, reliable power is going to become one of the essential building blocks of long-term space operations. Redwire is also developing satellite servicing, docking, and autonomous spacecraft technologies. And instead of replacing expensive satellites when they reach their operational limits, future servicing systems could allow spacecraft to be repaired, upgraded, or even extended while already in orbit. And that would create an entirely new part of the space economy. Think of it this way. If satellites become more like long-term infrastructure assets rather than disposable hardware, maintaining those assets could actually become increasingly valuable. And that brings me to another part of Redwire's story, the commercial space stations. NASA is supporting the development of commercial space stations that eventually succeed the International Space Station, and Orbital Reef is one of the leading concepts. Redwire has been selected to provide critical technologies for Orbital Reef, including microgravity research payloads, structures, and systems, all designed to support a permanently occupied commercial destination in low Earth orbit. This connection is important because Redwire's opportunity is tied closely to companies like SpaceX without directly competing against them. Reusable launch systems may lower the cost of reaching orbit, but rockets alone do not create a commercial space economy on their own. Once something reaches orbit, something still needs to build the infrastructure around it. And that means power systems, that means manufacturing platforms, and research equipment and spacecraft technology. If launch costs continue to decline, demand for the company supporting activity beyond the launch pad could still grow alongside it. And that's the central idea behind Redwire. The company isn't just trying to win the race to space, it's trying to build what comes after. Now, if you've been watching Redwire but think, look, right now, just too expensive, if that's the case, check this video up here because I talk about how you can sell a put option on a stock you want to own and get paid to wait for it to come down to your price. And if it does, you get to buy the stock and you got paid to do so while you waited. Now, Redwire has assembled a portfolio of technologies across space manufacturing, power systems, satellite servicing, and commercial space infrastructure. But many of its biggest opportunities are going to depend on something that's still developing, a larger orbital economy. Commercial space stations haven't yet replaced the International Space Station. In-space manufacturing is still early. Satellite servicing hasn't yet reached any widespread adoption. So investors today need to recognize that this isn't a company built around any guaranteed near-term growth. It's a company that's positioned around the potential in the future. Another consideration is that Redwire generates a meaningful portion of its business from government programs and large aerospace contracts. And that means future growth is going to depend partly on continued public investment and successful execution of commercial opportunities. If government spending slows down or if commercial demand develops more slowly than expected, some of these opportunities could take much longer to materialize. So ultimately, the Redwire investment thesis is going to depend on timing as much as the technology itself. The company needs to prove that today's capabilities can become durable businesses supporting a permanent economy in orbit. And that brings me back to the original question. Could the biggest opportunity in space belong to the companies building the infrastructure rather than those that are just transporting people and equipment there? Well, throughout history, major transportation breakthroughs often created opportunities beyond transportation itself. When access improves, value often shifts towards the industries, the services, and the infrastructure that's built around that access. And that's why Redwire is such an interesting company to watch. It doesn't need to become the dominant launch provider. It doesn't need to own the entire commercial space economy. Instead, its technologies could support multiple participants as activity in orbit expands. That future, though, is far from guaranteed. But if space becomes the next industrial frontier, the companies building the factories, the power systems, and the infrastructure could become, well, some of the most important players in the entire ecosystem. But now, I want to turn it over to you. Do you think the biggest winners in the space economy will be the companies launching the rockets, or the companies building everything that operates once those rockets arrive? And do you think Redwire has the technology to become one of the foundational companies behind a permanent industrial economy in space? And before I go, did I get this right? Did I forget anything? Let me know all of that and more in the comments below. And while you're there, if you found the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe because it really does help others find the video, it supports the channel, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on my next deep dive. Well, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again here on YouTube or in my community. Bye for now.